returning from executive session. Before we left,
We talked about litigation.
Some litigation.
discussed litigation, and before we left, there was a motion on the table to move forward with the zoning. Do I have a second?
No, I will not second it.
I will not second it.
For the record, I'm very disappointed that you're not willing to move forward in removing the warehouse provision from C2 zoning.
Okay, we're going to table this issue and move forward. Okay, there's a draft for streets and sidewalks ordinance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
We need to wait for our manager.
Oh.
There he is.
We moved on to the
Streets and
Streets and
sidewalks.
sidewalks.
Oh, so we're still working on a final draft for streets and sidewalks. I'm waiting for some feedback from Tom on our current draft. Keith and I worked on some stuff, so I'll have an updated draft for you and a completed draft by the next meeting. We'll be ready to advertise. There are some conditions that necessitate us to prioritize this work. And the most recent draft that you saw, there's been a few changes to that, and I'll send that out this evening.
Okay. This evening.
Yeah, before we leave, I'll send it out to you. I have the draft.
What's that pertain to existing? When you say roads and sidewalk?
So that section is any roads and sidewalks, whether existing or new. The changes that we're making are specifically towards street opening permits, so things that UGI or similar companies would need to get in order to do
okay,
roads.
it's not that you want to add.
Correct.
Forcing sidewalks.
Nope, that's not one that I want to go near.
I knew he was getting it.
Thank you for your concern, Mike.
What street do you live on? What street do you live on? We want to add that to
Josh knows where we live.
No, see the look, you know exactly where it is.
We're going to start with recently improved streets, East Western Road being the first one.
I'm gonna note that right now.
Hey, I'm retiring. Be a freak.
It won't be in the sidewalk.
Are you a doctor?
All right, moving on.
Okay, 5 years. Parks and Rec.
With me.
So, this one is asking for permission to move forward with the pickleball courts. Same thing with the Heights Walking Trail. We have this money budgeted and we'd be able to move forward with it. This is something that the Parks Board is asking for.
I don't see how we're gonna have $80,000 to build a pickleball court when we don't seem to have enough money to take care of our roads, quite frankly.
The money's been budgeted for the pickleball courts. That's in the account. That's
Yeah, but
already
you're
been
questioning
figured
how we're spending the ARPA money.
I-
And our
I
roads are
agree.
are a higher priority than any pickleball courts or any other type of recreational facilities at this point. We have to take care of our roads. I mean, that's really important.
What I'm saying is, we budgeted the
No, I
money was put
understand
there.
that, but
You guys,
you're worried about the ARPA funds and how we're spending it.
We put the
You
money
said
there.
nothing about it.
it's kind of hilarious that that's going down this road right now with the money that was spent.
Well, no, but you were just
on-
arguing about
on
taking certain
frivolous
things. No,
projects
I mean,
in the township.
this is serious stuff. We need to take care
Oh,
of our
some
roads.
is-
And we're we're only talking about some of the ARPA funds, and then we're talking about how long they're gonna last. And a pickleball court, which is nice, you know, for people that they wanna do it, but
I'm
it's
not-
we're talking about $80,000 that we don't have at this point, and with 4 other infrastructure issues that we've got in front of us.
We're looking to do all the creek work for you. Listen, at the end of the day, the money's been put into the budget. It's already been figured into the account, so I don't know why this is even a question.
It is a question, because you
Why?
just got done saying earlier, I mean, we had the previous discussion
Yeah.
for about an hour or so, however long it took, talking about the roads and making sure we're gonna take care of our roads, and you had, and I think a very legitimate concern, how long is our ARPA money going to last?
But you have
To
no
take
problem
care of
spending
all
on
of
anything
that.
else in here.
And the problem is that there's a priority of taking care of things like the roads, which are township responsibilities, and same thing with property of the township, including the streams, maintaining our
Recreation is-
We also have an
infrastructure,
obligation to
maintaining it,
residents.
so, I don't know how
for
you
their
can
tax
argue
money.
both sides of the this issue.
I'm gonna make a
It's basically
motion
what you're doing.
to go out for quotes and schedule a work for pickleball courts.
I'm gonna second it because the money's already there.
Well, and then, you know, it's really interesting. I'm not gonna support this because we have at least $3 million that we need
I don't
to
think we need an
spend
explanation
on,
at this point, right?
no, just let me finish. We have about $3 million that we need to spend on our roads that are classified as needing improvement in this township. And I can't support doing that, $80,000 or whatever it is for a pickleball court. In fact, there's even cheaper options to look at because we have a tennis court back here that could be modified for pickleball, I would think. And that would save some money on that. But, you know, if you do have those kind of concerns about the ARPA funds, I think you wouldn't be pursuing this at this point.
All in agreement, give your consent by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm opposed.
Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Okay, approval for quotes for and schedule of work for the Alani Heights Walking Trail.
So this is a project estimated to cost $18,000. The work would all be done by our guys. Hopefully we can get that lower because we might be able to get material donated to the township. This is again a request from Parks and Rec Board to move forward with this project. It was budgeted.
So I just have a question, if our guys are doing it, there's no additional cost other than if you donated materials.
The materials, what the cost would be for it and for equipment rental. If it's donated, then that cost wouldn't factor in. I think the largest cost was with the equipment rental.
So what we would actually have to spend to do this then?
18. Well, what we budgeted was 18. It depends on whether, so what, Keith can probably explain this a little bit better than I can. What happens is companies will have more material than they're actually using for specific construction projects. To get rid of it quickly, they'll donate it to the township on occasion. So that's what we're hoping to do, is get some of that material that's extra, bring that in, and that would hopefully pay for it all. I think sometimes we've been able to work out with contractors to do small projects where they kind of donate it to us because they either have the extra or they don't think they'll need as much. Is that fair?
It would specifically be stone is what it would be.
So I was gonna say, you're not talking run off on asphalt, because
No,
you're gonna patch this a
yeah,
little
they're not
bit.
gonna give us asphalt, but mainly stone, so.
Yeah.
So then our out-of-pocket cost for the materials would be
It
next to
wouldn't
nothing?
exceed 18,000.
With the asphalt and the equipment, right?
I think it would depend on whether we get it donated, but with the material cost included, if we did pay for material, it would still be that 18,000 number. So it's less than if we get it donated.
So I'm trying to get an idea of how much the material cost actually is.
Do you have a,
I don't have my number, but
give me a second to pull it up. Do you want to
Again,
move on to this one?
well, I was gonna say, again, look, what timeout though?
Okay.
Look, you can look that up and give us the breakdown of it again, but again, it's a not to exceed, we budgeted $18,000 to do this project, right?
That's accurate, yes.
And that's what's been allocated to do it.
Yes, that's accurate.
So I guess I'm questioning why we need a breakdown of it. If it's 18,000, we budgeted to, we said a not to exceed project.
Because I've
to do
asked for the
18.
information.
Sure, but I'm
So I'd
saying,
like
but
to have the information, okay?
again,
You know,
why does it,
just
what,
as a
if the
concern.
project is $18,000 cap, what does it matter what the breakdown is? I don't really care how many tons of stone we're getting versus how many tons of asphalt we're getting. If
I'm
it's not to
asking for
exceed-
some cost information, and I know you, for some reason, you don't want to agree to that, but I think it's a legitimate question. Our guys would be doing the work. I want to know if the material is not donated, how much it would cost. You know, we have that breakdown in all kinds of projects, so I'd just
To
like to
exceed
have that number.
$18,000, I'm not sure.
So I'd like to just know what that number is.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve to receive quotes and schedule of work for the Alani Heights Walking Trail and to supply Ms. Fiedler with the costs that are anticipated for that, not to exceed $18,000.
I'll second that motion.
I'll send it to you as soon as I pull it up. I can go.
So
All in
I
agreement?
well, I have a question.
Okay?
So you're asking for quotes. So
Yeah.
when the quotes come in, that's when we would actually approve the work,
That's
right?
what it says, discuss approval to
And
receive
schedule
quotes
the
and
work.
schedule the work, yeah.
But we actually wouldn't actually.
So once we get the.
No, can you just stop for a minute?
Oh, it's okay if you.
You know, no, I'm just asking the question. So we wouldn't actually schedule any of the work until we're actually getting the quotes in, because we don't know what.
Well, you can't schedule the work till you get the quotes in. You don't know how much it's gonna cost.
Well, then I would suggest that you remove that from your motion, just ask for quotes.
I think we can schedule the work. It's not gonna be something we're gonna say, oh, the quotes came in yesterday, let's do it today.
There's no quotes needed for the Alani Heights, because that's being done by our guys. It's on an outside contractor. Pickleball is a different story. That you need quotes for it.
Because of the amount of cost.
Yeah, because they have to come and do a lot of the work. The outside company, but our guys be doing Alani parked, so there's no outside, there's no code for that.
There will be for stone and macadam and equipment,
Well,
right?
that's what
Yeah,
we're
you
asking.
don't
Right.
really-
So the Wi-Fi is not accessing emails far enough back, so I'll need to plug my computer in to go grab that. It's gonna be a matter of 30 seconds if you want me to do it now.
Would you?
Yes.
Great, thanks.
Is there somebody with their hand up or something? or-